We're cooking.
Yep. So I'll start in the live stream. Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Hi. Nice cap.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten a haircut, so it's all hats.
Hi, everyone.
All right, Pavel.
I'm still waiting people to come.
Yeah, we're a little sparse. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Piling in last minute here. Yep.
Precise as Swiss watch, 12 UTC.
Say again.
I was saying precise as Swiss watch.
Oh, yeah. right on the dot. Right.
Yeah.
12 noon UTC. Is Mita here?
Nope. I'm trying to find him right now.
No, he just wrote. He said, 1 minute, wait for me. Wait.
No way.
We're waiting.
What about some music on? Now you can choose it.
They're not letting us. YouTube is being mean.
You can sing.
Over in 2 seconds flat. I have you know, they say some people have a face for radio. I have a voice for I have a voice for a soundproof room.
Yeah, okay. Just can start.
I'll make the initial introductions while we meet. I've got them down on my list. So, all right. So,
yeah, what happened? Like, what is planned to be done? So, you can start.
Yep, absolutely. All right. So, hello, everybody. Welcome to Weekly Meetup number 29. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're going to have mostly a technical update, which means I won't be doing much talking. So that's good news for everyone, I'm sure. There's also a pretty big announcement, but Mita is going to handle that. I'll give him the honors in just a minute. Let me just get a couple of off topics out of the way. At the moment, we have a lot of partnership proposals that are in the feedback stage. Mostly likes, dislikes, calls for more information, that sort of thing. Some of them have been on the forum for a while. I just want to say that while it's taking some time, this is okay. We all learned that accepting certain proposals as is can lead to problems. So I think it's good practice to just polish them up first. And having said that, I think we're now seeing a clearer picture. The comments on the forum aren't always indicative of true value. Like, yay, hooray, or blah, it sucks, isn't really feedback. They count, of course, but they don't add any value. There's now a business development subgovernance. Well, almost. Still waiting on the proposal, guys. And there are really some very talented and experienced people there that provide really constructive feedback. I mean, not just comments. They actually have expert critique, and that is valuable. And a good case, a good example of this was there was an AMA session with Grupovina of Serbia last week, and yesterday there was one with Korea Games. It's amazing how much can be accomplished over a 1 hour conference, to be honest. All sides came together on a live call. I believe there were 3 opposing views. And the result was that everybody walked away with a new perspective, and Korea Games totally gets it. They totally get it. and said, we'll be back with a rework proposal. So they got some excellent feedback. So I guess what I'm saying is that I think we need to add regular AMA sessions as a supplement to the commentary on the forum. And I don't mean for every single proposal. So some proposals just don't need it. But the point is that whenever the forum gets heated, I think the cool down factor should be an AMA. And by AMA, I also mean a real Ask Me Anything, where lots of people come and ask questions, challenge the proposal, challenge the folks proposing it, and not just sort of a partner and the host recording a sales pitch, right? That doesn't work. So I think more can be accomplished in under an hour on a call than a month's worth of comments. So comments are important, of course, but AMA should also become a regular habit, I think. So anyway, we can discuss it further when the Q&A session starts. So also, if you'll permit me to steal just a few more seconds of your time, I have an announcement to make. TON Labs has hired a new CEO. His name is Cyril Paglino. He's based in Paris. Cyril, are you here?
Hey guys, how's it going? Yes, I'm here.
You want to maybe just say hi to everybody?
Yes, hi everyone. Thanks so much for introducing me. Glad to be here, Ron. Looking forward to work with you guys. I'm gonna listening today and be more active in the next session. So yeah, for now I'm just gonna listen today. Thank you guys.
So there he is.
Welcome, Cyril. Pleasure to have you in the team.
Thank you, Alexander. Very excited, as you know.
Okay, so that's pretty much it for me. We can start the techie talk.
Yeah, one short comment about proposals for partnership. Actually, we agree that it's better to call them cooperation, because partnership is a word which has legal meaning in some jurisdictions. So it's better again to start calling it cooperation agreement. The second is that I would really personally like to see results, because now we not see too much. We saw Combot integrated, but they still under development, significant functionality. All others saying that like end November, early December, there should be announcements and they will show how it works. Why it is important? Because we should, as you say, trial and error. So we should get results and see what is working and what is not. Because, for example, I mean, there were lots of discussions what user is, what usage. For example, usage is about. So we should see real examples, and then it will be much easier to judge incoming cooperation agreements, because then we can say, okay, well, this proposal is similar to that one. So that's my view as well.
That's a great point. That's a great point. And I mean, I don't think we're going to isolate specifics right now, but it's true. I mean, we have, what, 20 cooperation cooperators. I don't know. I'm going to call them partners just this one time, that already joined. And except for a few, we're not really seeing any integration. In fact, what we're seeing is the upfront tokens being used as a means to exchange them on the OTC, which isn't really a good thing. It's a very bad thing. So yeah, I will second that motion and say that we really need to start pushing whoever brought the proposal, whoever brought the partner to the network. I think it's time to sort of reach out and ask them what's up. Yeah, I agree. All right, listen. Let's get to the techie talk. Mitya, I can see you're here. So just a quick synopsis. We're going to talk about distributions for new validators. That's going to be the big one. And then network configuration changes. And then Nikita is also going to talk about a new community website. So Mitya, I guess we're going to go to you now.
Yeah, I guess so too.
Let me have my video on in this all important moment. No, seriously. So there are two things that are going to happen more or less now, I hope now. One is that we need to change the parameters of the network. And I will share my screen with you guys now. A second. And I'll explain what we're going to do. So these are the current parameters 8, 16, 20, 22, 23 in the configuration parameters of the networks. You see here the DevNet, and here you see the mainnet. And for the last, as you know, as a result of the games and tests we run on the DevNet for last 3 months, we basically came to these settings that these parameters need to change. And mainnet is currently running the old parameters that it, in terms of these parameters, the old parameters that it has started with. The parameters basically relates to the gas limits. And as a result of the tests, the validator games, as you remember, maybe we have decided to lower the gas limits, several gas limits, quite dramatically for the safety of the network. We didn't do that on the mainnet yet because we want to test it first on the DevNet, as we know that it works there for several months already with these parameters. And we must also take change the parameter 20 in the gas limit because this parameter was causing a crash of the elector contract when the set of validators reach certain limit. So you can observe the parameters here. So instead of 10 million gas soft limit of the block soft limit, we limited to just 1,200,000. The underload we limit to 900,000. You can see all that if you compare the parameters of the network on the TON Live. You just can see that all of you. And usually, what would happen is that we would run a voting among the validators on the net to change the parameters. But since we have a technical key which can set the parameters up, we will do that ourselves, simply because the procedure of the voting of the validators on the network itself never been properly tested yet, and they will be. And there is also not a very good interface to do that. So it will put an extra load on the validators, will take a lot of time. And if we want to start distribute stakes to validators, to the validators to the winners of the crystal game, we cannot do that without changing these parameters, because it will put the network at risk. So if anyone has an objection to us changing these parameters now, please speak. And if not, then we will just execute this parameter change right now, live.
And by we, you mean TON Labs?
By we, I mean Artyom.
Tell him, please, a bit more in detail. So what is changing and why?
Well, it's really simple, as I said. So we're changing the version that's parameter 8 to the 6 to the 5, just to match the version of the DevNet, and that's just because we're changing the parameter, so we want to update the version. There will also be a demand to update the node code, but that will come later. It doesn't really affect currently the stakes, but the version and the update to the code of the node are related. If you remember the accident we had on the main network back in May, June, this accident happened because several validators just decided to run a node which was a different version of the node, and then the consensus stalled a little bit. So in order to avoid that, we had several patches to the node software, and these patches are currently on the mainnet, but it's also on the devnet, and we will harmonize. We want to harmonize the validator software as well, and to also include the patch which will filter the blocks which produced from the earliest version of the software. And we will do that gradually over the next couple of days. So we will be asking validators to update the node software in both devnet and the mainnet. So this is about the version. The minimum amount of validators is just for the convenience, and the devnet is 5. So we're leaving that unchanged, because this file is just describing all the differences between the configs. So that will stay unchanged, 13 minimum validators. This gas limit, parameter 20, relates to the gas limit which is used by elector contract. And because the elector contract, previous elector contract, or current elector contract on the mainnet written in FunC, probably has never been tested on the more than 300 something validators. When we introduced more than 400 validators to the network, the elector contract stalled because of the gas. It just was using too much gas for calculation, and basically it stalled the contract. It stalled the on the devnet. And so we changed that parameter. So this reflects the 20 special gas limit parameter, which is increasing basically. And so it allows the elector to process more validators. Very simple. Parameter 22 relates, and 23, it relates to the block limits in master chain and shard chain, and gas limits to the blocks in master chain and shard chain. And we simply lowering this by some considerable amount, because it will just what it means, it basically will set a limit to the amount of transactions per block. And when you have too much transaction per block, what's happening, if there are certain amounts of certain transactions, we know what type of these transactions are. So, but we didn't yet, in this version of the node software, doesn't have a patch to really tackle the issue, because it's going very deep into the protocol. There are certain bugs in it and design flaws in the protocol itself that now with the Rust node, what we're doing now is actually trying to we'll work on fixing that and changing this by design. But currently, just in the old software version, the idea is to basically limit the amount of transactions per block. So whatever, and these are pretty safe limits, meaning that, and they're pretty low. That's why on the last game with these limits, we had only 600 something transactions per second. It's because the limits we set is quite low, and the idea is that it will always be enough time for a validator to validate the blocks and for collator to collect the blocks inside these gas limits. So even if there's special transactions which causing problems executes on the network, they still pass okay. They don't congest the validator software. So that's really it. It's nothing else. It's just basically uppering the gas limit for the special gas limit limit and lowering them for the blocks on the master chain and shard chain. That's really what it does. Nothing else. So if no objections, then Artyom, are you ready?
Yep.
So we are not going to share the screen because there is a private key involved. So
Sure.
yeah, Artem will just execute. So please do.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna update the parameters one by one. So let's start from the version 1. It will take a bit to update. After the update, a new key block should be produced. Okay, as far as I see, it shouldn't happen. It should happen now.
Yeah, it's that key block, and this is the parameter. Which one did you change?
Eighth parameter. As far as I see, the version has been changed.
Yeah, it's version 5 now, so you can see here.
Okay, let's move on. So next one is 20th parameter.
Yeah, I think that's the block.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one.
Okay, next parameter is 22.
Done, I think, no? Yeah. 22. Mm-hmm. Yeah, soft limit lowered, underload
And the
lowered.
last one is 23.
Mitya, how you filter key blocks? Do you have it? The filter parameter?
No.
Probably we should add it.
But I can give you the
Numbers.
The hack.
Ah.
And here is the last one. So that was 22, right?
Yeah, 23. There was some odd key block, but just ignore it.
Yeah, this one and this one changed. So it has been executed. Now we're past the first stage of the necessary step on now deploying the new validators to the network. So I will explain a little bit about this procedure as well. And that is a little bit more complicated. So so first of all, we have Zhenya. I hope we have Zhenya on the call. Zhenya, are you here?
Yes, sure.
Okay, great. So Zhenya will be executing this, and Artyom will. So I will explain. So we have a TON Labs has set up a special multi-sig account to do this, and the governance today has transferred 21 something millions to this account, and that is for the first batch of 30 validators and 32. And why this 32 is simply because these are the people who not only created a multi-sig account on the mainnet, but also, as we have asked, deployed the DevNet DePools, new DePool contracts with the DevNet. We thought it's an important step, so everyone, get back on track with how to work with DePool, and the contract changed, so should have been trying this. So we identified 32 validators up until now. There are actually more validators, but so the 32 also did that with the same keys they have on the mainnet. So we could easily identify these guys. Now, there is certain amount of validators who did deploy on the DevNet, we know that, but they did deploy with the different keys. So now Sergey is running the procedure of the Satoshi test to verify that these are the people corresponding to these multi-sig accounts on the mainnet. Once that procedure is finished, we will add, of course, and we will gradually add more and more people who do the same thing, basically. So you need to have a multi-sig account on the mainnet with a Ludi bot deployed. And then you have to deploy on the DevNet, with the same keys or with the different keys, and then pass the Satoshi test to deploy the DePools, new DePool contract. Once you do that, we will gradually now, starting from today, from this exact moment, we'll start distributing the lock stakes gradually, week by week, day by day. So today we're going to execute whoever has deployed the DePools of these 32, whoever deployed the DePools on the main network will receive over the day today. The first 10 will receive over the day today the stakes, and the first two, we actually have two I think DePools currently deployed on the main network from these 32 people. And these two DePools, we're going to distribute them right now. Jenny will do that live. From this multisig, now how it works. So Jenny is creating the transaction. It's calling a special lock method of the DePool smart contract. And Artyom, with his key, will verify the message and then sign this transaction with the second key, and the lock stake will be sent to these guys. So congratulations, and Jenny, please do execute the procedure starting now, and please report us when you're done here, so we can all, and send me please the link with the TON Live to the transaction, so we all can verify and see that indeed that lock stake has been distributed to the first external validator. I think it's important day for FreeTON. We are moving to the decentralization. Of course, again, it's not a simple process. It's not one button that we can push and start, boom. And as I already mentioned, I believe that the network has been decentralized from day one, from 7th of May. It's just a question of, the grade of decentralization. And there is no 100% decentralized. So it's, but there is 0% decentralization, that's for sure. So we are just upgrading this grade now, FreeTON, with adding additional validators. And hopefully by the end of November, beginning of December, so for sure before 12th of December, we will have all DePool Ludi winners, Crystal Game winners joining the network. Of course, whoever is, wants to join, wants to get the stakes. Now, this lock stake is only for until 12th of December. Oh, this is a dry run, okay, or the wet run, let's say, of this distribution. Starting from 12th of December, the DePools will go back to the same wallet they were sent from, and immediately will be deployed again, but to the new set of DePool smart contracts. And the reason why there will be this period of trial is because the formal verification step 3 need to happen, and that will happen before 12th of December. But also, and because, not only because just to get the certificate, but there are certain cosmetic changes probably we expect to the DePool contract still. There actually was a such cosmetic change yesterday pushed. So there are we expect some things that might change in the DePool smart contract. So we allow that before we seal the contract with the formal verification of phase 3 formal verification by 12th of December. We wanted to be sure that we can, change the contract. And starting from 12th of December, there will be released to the same validators who received the stake up until that point. the same lock stake and the vesting stake will be issued to this gradually again, to these validators. So that's how it's going to work. I hope I covered everything, but I'm not sure. So please ask a question if you have any, and I will be happy to ask. And Zhenya, did you start to?
Yes, right now, which Sasha or Artyom check the transaction.
Okay.
Right now we have 2 DePools, so 2 transactions will be.
Great.
While we're waiting for that, there's a question on YouTube right away. It says, can you publish the 32 DePool addresses?
They are published on the forum under my post. Yesterday post, under my yesterday post, there is a list.
I'll toss.
And this list, yeah, and this list will be updated periodically. Like there will be, Sergey will continue posting under this thread to reflect new set of validators who will join us, and to bring this network more stability, more decentralization. So that's great. Of course, it's not everything that need to be done for continuing decentralizing. I think the governance to zero is an important step, or we'll call it DGO now, in decentralization process. But we are on the track, and that was a very important step.
Yep, thank you. All right, well, we have just the one question from YouTube. Let's, while we're waiting for this milestone, let's hear questions or comments.
Yeah, Mitya, I think we discussed that in December there will be a special contract which will resend locked stakes and vested stakes in one batch. So could you please comment how it will work? Because at the moment,
yeah, the vesting stake is the lock stake. I'm not sure the lock stake will be ever automated. Well, first of all, because it's just 350, 370 transactions, and they are not done in one day. So it's no real problem to send them like manually. Also, there is a lot of things we're checking while sending this, and to write the automation for that just for 370 transactions, I think it would be the waste of time. Basically, we're checking that the DePool contract is correct, that the the keys of the validators wallets are correct, that the the DePool contract actually works, or stuff like that. So we do a lot of manual checking. Zhenya is doing, with Sergey is doing a lot of manual checkings. So I think that the lock stake distribution will still stay the same, but of course the vesting, that's a different story. The vesting, once all the lock stakes are distributed to the DePools, then the vesting can be distributed just in one batch, just by script. And yeah, we're going to automate that for sure.
We have a lot of participants today. Does somebody want to say something? Raise your hand or just speak up.
I think it's a very important moment. Let's just enjoy, the process.
Let's bask in the free time.
Can we play music?
Yeah, I was going to put some dramatic music.
You came late, Mitya. Somebody asked me to sing. Would you like me to sing?
No, Rob, please, no. Mitya, on a more serious note, can you comment a little bit like how quickly and based on what criteria validators are going to be added? Just talk to us a little bit, because obviously, I mean,
I mentioned I mentioned the criteria. So the criteria is you need to deploy the multisig on the mainnet. You need to deploy a new DePool on the testnet, on the devnet. You need then to deploy the DePool on the mainnet. Okay, so there are 3 things you need to do. And once you're there, then we take whoever did that, and we just go and we just sort them by the winning price. And starting from the top of the list, we're adding. And we will be adding no more than, of course, we have a limit of 33% that we never cross, meaning that we don't add in one batch more validators more than the 33% of the validators current on the network, which means that this batch can grow actually with time, and it will grow. But first batches we start small. We see also, we see the election cycle, we see the validators are performing, and then everything is good. Then we're adding the second batch, and then we go forward. And but as we grow and the total number of validators grows, then each batch can be a little bit more, right? So in the end of November, sometimes beginning of December, we will arrive at the point where we can add the rest just in one batch, basically. But if we want to do that, but that's because when we have 300 validators, we can more or less add 100 in one batch. But of course, we don't want to do that, but still, it's technically possible. So that's how it will just grow. So first day 10, like first week 10, 10, 10. Then we will start adding like maybe 15 at a bench, 20 at a bench, and like that.
So there's actually there now all of a sudden there are some questions coming in, not from YouTube, but
sure.
Telegram. And forgive me if you've answered these, but I'm going to voice them anyway.
Okay? No problem.
Mm-hmm. So when are we expected to run the mainnet node?
What?
When are we expected to run the mainnet node?
You are expected to run the main. First of all, who are we? I don't know. If you're a Magister Ludi game winner, then you are expected to run the mainnet node already. And the question is just when you get the lock stake, and I just explained the process.
And he asks right away, when will there be the next accrual of locked stakes in Maine for those who have deployed the new DePool contract to the test and validated the old one? And what is the deadline for deploying a new DePool contract to test?
There is no deadline. It's up to you. But we will add from these who deployed. So whoever deployed, we every day we check. We are actually checking. We've been checking for last week or so more. So every day there is a check. We see it's all manual work. It's a lot of time, and I think Sergey, Zhenya are doing incredible job in that, all that. So thanks to you guys. And yeah, so every day we check, and every day based on this we will update the table, and when the money rise out, when we distributed 32 and the money is finished, we will ask governance to provide the next batch. Well, whoever will be by that time when we ask them to give us new money, that's what we will ask for. We cannot ask in advance for something that does not exist. So if we already have the list of next validators, we will ask for that list.
What was the principle behind the selection of the first?
That's the principle I just described. That's the principle, because they have deployed the multi-sigs, and then they have deployed the DevNet new DePools. That was the principle. Now they also need to, of course, deploy the DePools on the mainnet. So if they don't do that, they won't get lock stake. Now we're waiting for them to do that. And then, of course, we're waiting for the rest of the validators to deploy DePools on the DevNet. And then once you do, then you will include it in the next batch. And again, sorted by the winner stake. Very simple. So if we have 100 tomorrow validators or 200 validators who did that, we will just take a batch of the 10 or 15 validators from the top of the list by the winner, by the winning stakes, and distribute them, and so on.
Can I just
one more? We're not going to do that every day, literally, because we also want to see how networks react, how the validator is doing, and stuff like that. So it will be like it won't be every single day new validators coming, but it will be like maybe a couple of batches. We will then, give it a couple of cycles and then add more. So like that.
Can I just ask everybody? I know I know some people are camera shy, and I understand that. But right now, I'm actually looking, and I'm seeing there's like 5 people who have their cameras on, and they're all the same people we always see. Can you, unless you have some sort of a physical deformity that you don't want to show anybody, can everybody please
wait?
turn on their
What's
cameras?
the problem with physical deformity?
I didn't say there's a problem with physical deformity, Mita. I mean, I look at you all day.
Exactly.
Can everybody just turn on their camera for once? I'd like to see everybody. I mean, can we do that one time?
Yeah, we have so many people on the call, and I mean only usual.
Yeah, come on. I mean, look, I tell people right away, listen, I'm not camera friendly today, etc. But come on, it's a weekly call. We can, comb our hair a little bit, and nobody really cares what you look like anyway.
Let's make a contest to turn on your camera.
Don't say things like that, because there will be one in 5 minutes. Come on, guys, gals, everybody, let's have a look at you.
Jenny turned on the camera because she finished, I think, with the log stakes.
Yeah, Artem checking right now.
Oh, there she is, finally. Hey, now we see you. Come on, everybody, don't be shy. I'm not gonna make you talk. Just, say hello, wave your hand, something. It gets a little boring when there's only 5 or 6 faces.
Wanted to ask Vladimir why you didn't apply for the second contest of the DGO governance jury selection.
Is it still happening?
It's
didn't
finished.
have time.
Unfortunately, it's finished, and I was like, okay. I was going through the list and like, where is Vladimir?
I wanted.
We were
to
in the first one.
Yeah. I was in the first one. We just were finishing the contest for the DEX exchange, the submissions. So we were really busy doing it. Didn't have time.
Too bad.
To join. Yeah, but by the way, the contest is finished, and I encourage community to see all the submissions, even if you are not a juror, because there are a lot of interesting works, and we are welcome on the feedback.
I started to look yesterday. Yeah, started to go through. It's a lot of work to go through that. Of course, I will do that as a jury member. So, but
not just the juries, but anyone on the community, because the feedback is welcome. A lot of interesting ideas, and we're willing
I should
to.
Say, I should say it's the most popular contest ever in the DeFi sub-governance by the number of submissions.
Hector,
even more than for a jury contest, guys.
Because we need the DEX, guys. We do need the DEX.
Hector, I don't think Ron actually meant you. It's 6:40 a.m. in Mexico. So
Hector, yeah, you're forgiven.
Forgiven.
Yeah, you're forgiven. Everybody else, though.
I think it's quite early for Paulina as well.
Oh yes, Paulina. She's in Toronto.
Yes, I'm here.
No, that's right. Oh, there she is.
Well, Paulina probably didn't go to bed yet, so that's why I didn't mention.
No. It's early morning over there. It's what, 8 hours? We're 8 hours difference here. What about where's Denise? I want to see Dennis. Dennis from.
Sorry, I have no camera.
Okay. No camera today. All right. What about Sergey from CEX? Is he here? He was here.
Yeah, Serge is here.
Let's have a look at you. I mean, we talk like 25 times a day. I guess that's a no. Okay, everybody's camera shy. I get it. All right. Here's a question. When can we expect a Rust node contest?
There is a special smile that answers every question starting with when. And several people already kind of familiar with that. So this appears in the several sets. I think it should appear in every set of smiles dedicated to free TON. And of course, that's a famous soon. and you can, you can just use that smile every time you want to ask the question when, because there are no precise answers to these questions, and the reason there are no precise answers to the question can take me about 2 hours to explain. You have to just believe me that it's not because we're so bad at what we're doing. We never know when we do that. It's just because of the nature of these things. It's just how the software is being developed and debugged and everything else. So we're expecting it really, really soon, but there are still some things like. You have to understand that it's also very hard to make people stop developing. Like, this is a whole task, a separate form of art of how you're making software developer just say, you don't touch this code. Like, if you go after, for example, DePool progress, like, it's been 9 months. and yesterday they did it again. So, and it's like the only, like, it took me for formal verification kind of contracts is just prohibited. You cannot touch the code. But like, it took me to several talks with Nikita just to tell him that he has to let it go. Yeah. So there are things that have been discovered, and there are things that have been discovered during the testing and during the integration testings, and these things, then we just want to fix them before we release, because people are always, we release that, it looks bad, we need to fix that, and then we need to fix again, and we need to do that and that. So it's still not there yet in terms of like public contest, but it's very soon.
Sharif joined us. Hi, Sharif.
Hey guys, yeah, I'm here. I was just on the YouTube. Yeah, I'm good. I do have some questions at some point, but I don't want to interrupt at the wrong moment.
No, we're waiting. So go for it. Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to ask about the Cointelegraph coordination. I was chatting yesterday to Connor, who is sort of on the Cointelegraph side helping us out. I asked him, do you have a lead contact? He doesn't, he's been talking to people in a collective way. I just ask if that's the best solution. And if not, if we want to appoint someone to be just a conduit, not to make decisions or be a voice of free TON or any of that stuff. That's not what I'm suggesting, but someone that he can get quick responses from. I'm happy to put myself forward if no one else is doing that.
Yeah, there is a hang on one sec. I thought I could have sworn that
I think it's a good idea. I mean, you have a great experience. You can better say a few words about yourself. I think we can. It's not. I mean, probably for the call decision, we could probably have some. I don't know, even voting for that, but I agree that there probably should be a person who will be in day-to-day communication with our collaborators.
Operators. Okay, we're going to have to come up with a better word. Cooperators doesn't quite cut it, but yeah. Sharif, by all means, please take lead. That would be great. It's awesome. I think everybody would appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, it's tricky, and it's something we're discovering, which is, decentralized governance. Part of that is decentralized relationships. Like, no one is the voice of free TON. Free TON is a collective of all different people. In a way, everyone has an equal right to speak for free TON. Free TON is a thing, right? Or it's a community. So how do you actually give a quote to a journalist, or how do you run a relationship? This is something that I'll put my hand up right now and say, I'm learning as I go along. and we just have to, I think. So, but I'd be the first to say that there is like a potential theoretical conflict between, okay, this is the person that's going to be your coordinator or whatever, versus the idea that it's a decentralized community. So, I mean, I don't know if anyone's had thoughts on doing this, but the way I've approached Connor is simply to say, hey, I'm an initial launch member of FreeTON. I'm as much as part of the community as anyone. I'm a former journalist. I know kind of your deadlines and how you work. So if you need something quickly, you can come through me, and I'll put the responses. Any questions, I'll put it on the PR subgov or whatever. But,
yeah, well, community voice, we're calling it now, right? So community voice, that's exactly where you go. And absolutely, the sub-governance can ask who wants to take this, who wants to take that, and absolutely. So even though there might, it's not necessarily any one particular person. It could be anybody depending on what the subject is. If it's just a community announcement or something like that, and absolutely. I think it's just a matter of the sub-governance just deciding who's the better speaker, who's the better voice to speak to. But as far as conduit goes, that's no problem. If you're willing to take that on, then I don't think anybody's going to have a problem with that. That's not centralization. That's just somebody communicating. It's
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's no problem.
I think it's let's try to finish finally community voice sub-governance proposal, because there were some.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So probably we should start with something moderate. There were a couple of drafts there, so.
Yeah, I think Pavel has a good point, because that's all fine and dandy and good, but we actually need that sub-governance. It's not actually, I keep calling it a sub-governance, just like business development, but there's not a formal proposal out there yet. So I think we need to hammer that out.
There is a formal proposal which I've put my backing behind. I think we need to get whatever changes are needed to get it over the line so that we have some governance. I don't know. Do you guys agree that? Is it that PR is just a bit more unusual as one of the types of activities to be decentralized, and that is part of the delay, or is it that there's just something in the latest set of proposals that just is sort of contradicting the philosophy of decentralization in some way?
It's the latter. It's the latter. Okay. Yeah, it's the latter. So essentially calling it PR, FreeTON does Bitcoin have a PR? Right? I mean,
no, of course. Yeah, of course not. And of course not. The idea of a PR department for FreeTON it's not only absurd, but it's actually, it's impossible, right? So how do we orchestrate these activities? I don't think we need to rewrite the document that's been submitted. I think it comes very close already. That's the thing. And that's why I put my weight behind it. I think it's a good starting point. So I kind of want to know what's wrong with the latest version.
I don't know. I haven't had a chance to read it, to be honest.
Guys, let me interrupt a little bit.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we have a first DePool got the stake. So congratulations, as you can see on my screen. This is a transaction, of 727,300 winning lock stake. It's here on the balance of this DePool, and let's see how he validates, or she. I don't know who the hell that is, but it's there now.
Yeah, there it is.
It's in the hands of the community, and congratulations.
Good job.
The second one is on the way. The second.
Only 377 more to go.
Maybe me to the community voice.
There was actually just in the time that we had this call, there are 20 DePools that have been deployed on the mainnet. So we will get 10 DePools for certain today, and of course, everything is according to the plan. Then no changes. Everything is good. Looks good. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, for deploying, for being with us, for validating, for participating in the games. Hope you enjoy that, and hope you will enjoy the decentralized FreeTON even more.
And
so, Ivania, what did you say? Yeah.
Yeah, I said maybe you will be community voice because the first task is.
I'm very ugly community voice.
Yeah, talking about this subgovernance and talking about like choosing the community voice, there is actually a proposal about community subgovernance, and there is interesting mechanic where members are elected by just off chain, and it's okay. Like, you know, they suggest in the program, and you vote for the program. So maybe Sharif could just apply and like become a community voice being elected, and it's sufficiently decentralized, I think.
I think there's actually a better way. We actually have a contest for a collective community voice, which is the virtual character, the virtual hero. I think that would be a little bit better. So I think
we already have it, by the way. So we have contest for free toner or something.
It's called Free Ton Hero.
Yeah, yes. The mascot. This is a mascot concept, and
yeah, right. But it's an animated. Theoretically an animated figure. I know I'm old.
But how do you think, how long it will take into like production steps to actually implement that?
Not long. There's an agency out in well, there's an agency out there that specializes in exactly this type of thing. So once the contest runs and the winners are chosen,
let's see submissions. Yeah. I mean, by the end of contest, I mean, there should be a number of submissions. Let's see what we'll all like and jurors will vote for.
Back in the 1980s, yes, I'm showing my age. There was a thing on MTV in the US called, there's this character called Max Headroom. You can look it up on, you can Google it. Max Headroom, Head, Headroom. And it was a animated character that basically was kind of like the voice of MTV. Now, I'm not saying it should be exactly like that, but that would be sort of the concept, the idea behind it. And in that way, it's not a physical person actually doing anything and speaking on behalf of, because that lends, I think that takes away from the community being a community and somebody focusing like everybody sees my face every week, sees Mitya's face every week, you know, and people just begin to sort of associate Free Ton with you know, a few people. I think that's incorrect, right? I think what Sharif was talking about is actually communicating with agencies. That's a whole different thing. And of course, there needs to be a real person. We're not going to have a hero character do something like that. I think that would be a little silly. But when we talk about just as a community voice, I think the hero idea, the mascot idea, pretty much solves that. Yeah. I don't know.
It takes 6 days left for that.
And excuse me for one second. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's in 6 days we will see. Actually, there are already 7 submissions, by the way, on review. So we will have something, I think, at least to look at. And I guess the question what Ivan raised was not was about more or less physical person. I personally against any off-chain governance procedures, because then it will end up in a mess. People saying what is right, what is wrong. We made that decision in the past. Why do you now? So it all be on chain. It will all be 100% transparent, 100% programmed. It will take some time. I hope, Mitya, that we will amend TIP3 token and issue, and we'll get our TIP3 contract soon, because it is required to
that's very simple
governance. Yeah,
that's very simple contract and very simple update, and we will do that.
So Ivan, regarding our conversation we had, there is no need for contest. I mean, TON Labs guys will add some methods, and we'll have a new contract for sub-governances. And this is very important because at the moment, Multi6 showed it is inefficient for voting. There should be better tools. So we should, I mean, once we'll get that amended contract, we'll try to implement it in some
Well,
governance.
multisig was always kind of there just as a temporary solution because nothing else was developed. So it is not a problem of multisig.
No.
Multisig is doing just fine. It's just not that it's not designed for that.
Not an appropriate tool, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And by the way, Mitya, will this tip3 auth will be compatible immediately with multi-ballot? So we'll be able immediately to start using it for sub-governances. But what I would like to have, I would like to have voting against, because now we have only voting for, but it's not, it doesn't represent well.
Of course, the SMB multi-ballot is ready. Like the SMB multi-ballot is ready. The question is of the auth token is not exactly like, let's not talk about that now, but auth token is not something you exchange the vote for. Auth tokens just authenticate you. And if you need some voting token, you just basically, you can issue any tip3 token and it's immediately compatible with SMB multi-ballot. That's just fine.
It would be, as we discussed, not transferable, immediate burn. So that's why actually we had that design, discussed the design. So, okay, we need to change it ASAP because there are now many conflicts in some governances because, first of all, it's not transparent. So nobody knows who voted for, and there are no comments. Actually, we had the same with jurors. Before, how we called it, governance 1.1.
1.0.
Yeah, there was 1.0
and then 1.1.
Yeah, before 1.1 there was 1.0 and there was no any comment, and that was not transparent who voted, how voted. So we should have the same for sub-governances. And by the way, for global governance at the moment, I think as well. So we should see guys voting against proposal, and we should see comment. That will reduce discussions and conflicts a lot, I think, because it will be much more obvious and transparent who voted and why.
Yeah, Sergey from CEX brought that up once. Said, I want to vote against, but I can't. And I think that's a very important thing. Agreed. So how soon can we have that?
Yeah, hopefully you won't implement voting against until after I've put myself forward for any election.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, it's been an hour. How are we doing there, Mitya? With the
I've already, like, we're done.
We're done?
Like, no, we won't wait until we deploy all 10. I mean, that will happen on the course of the evening. So we don't need. I think the first one was the most important one.
Excellent, and that's a big, huge milestone. So. Who has any more questions? YouTube, I see none. Written questions were done. Does somebody here want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask who is deploying these DePools, because you said we.
I just what? You weren't here in the beginning of the call?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. No.
Who deployed?
So you should come. You should come from the beginning of the. I refuse to answer that question, Evan.
Oh, okay.
You should come in the beginning of the calls, not late.
Oh, somebody got spanked. Ivan, don't worry about it. Listen, it's in the recording. Everything's there. It'll
people who are doing that are on this call as well.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And you can ping me direct, and I'll tell you. It's not a secret. Questions, comments? Does anybody want to say something? Does anybody want to shamelessly plug their project?
I think also, Ron, didn't you, I saw in the agenda, didn't you want to mention that a new website is just about to go up?
Oh, Nikita. Where's Nikita? Oh my God, I totally forgot. We've been sitting here. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. Does Nikita, are you here? Can you talk about the new community site? I apologize.
I think he's not here.
He's not here. Okay.
My point is even different. I mean, I guess everybody can see it. I just genuinely want to thank a group of a few people from different teams, actually, who contributed to that. Nikita being obviously one of them. There is a designer, can't remember the name. So, I mean, it's been an effort. It's I actually just saw it myself recently in the beta version. So yeah, it's apparently it's been a big effort, and I think we should genuinely thank them.
Yeah, it's very important to mention that sub-governance formed for that weapon design. And now all development going forward should be fully community-driven via contests, very open for everyone to join.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
web and design sub-governance.
I wrote to Nikita, he's on another call. I can try to speak for him a little bit because I was also involved in this process. So I think it's a big deliverable for the web and design sub-governance because they managed to do some consistent centralized work using the centralized mechanism of the contest for design, which they successfully implemented, one of the most popular contests with more than 60 submissions. I voted myself for each submission because I'm on the jury in this sub-governance. And finally, it took them about 3-4 weeks to polish the site using the feedback from this sub-governance. And I saw the latest version. I think it's 99% ready. And I hope that in the coming days, we'll see a new website for the free TON community, developed by the sub-governance and the community itself. So I think guys did a great job.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah, that's a really good example of a functioning sub-governance where something actually bears fruit. That's great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and speaking what Sheriff mentioned, I think this is how it works actually. Someone takes initiative in the sub-governance and propels some product or partnership or collaboration, whatever. That's how it works in the centralized.
1,000,000%. Yes, that's absolutely correct. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Suggestions are good.
We need some good examples like that to I think they're more groundbreaking than people may realize at the time. Yeah, we need good examples, and I can try and follow the same pattern.
Excellent. That would be fantastic, right? Yeah, it's great when somebody just it's good to talk, it's good to chat, it's important, but then somebody just all of a sudden out of the blue comes out and says, "Hey, I did this," and that changes everything. So yeah, fantastic. Okay, who else would like to speak? Comments, questions, it doesn't matter. Criticisms? All right, well, I think we're going to do our traditional 3, 2, 1. Is everybody ready? 3, 2, 1. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you next week. Have a wonderful week, have a productive week, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Take care,
Bye, guys.
everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.